All right, everyone, welcome back. I hope you've been able to watch the videos about activation energy and chemical reactions. So today we're going to finish talking about enzymes, okay? This is going to be a little bit of a long one. So make sure to take good notes, and you can pause this video and review anything that you feel you don't understand, okay? And as always, you can always message me or talk to me before or after class and I can help you. So, like we said before, many of the chemical reactions inside cells happen too slowly to actually help the cell. Okay, things happen too slow inside the cell. So the activation energy, remember that's the energy we need to connect or separate uh, substances. It's too high. So the temperature is too high. The energy level is too high. Let me see if I can change this highlighter here. There we go. So it's too high. The cell must have a way to make these reactions happen faster and at a lower temperature. And the way that cells do this is through the use of enzymes. Okay? And it's right there. So what are enzymes? Okay? Enzymes are organic molecules. So organic means they have carbon in them. Organic molecules that act as catalysts. Okay, so what's a catalyst? Here is the Japanese translation. A catalyst is a substance or a thing that will make a chemical reaction take place more rapidly or faster at a lower temperature. So a catalyst makes a chemical reaction happen faster and at a lower temperature. Okay. So enzymes, they act like catalysts. That doesn't mean that they are catalysts. They act like them. Okay. So enzymes are proteins that act as biological catalysts. And at the very end, we'll kind of talk about the difference between just catalysts and enzymes, okay? Enzymes are essential for the functioning of any cell. So you need that for any cell to work. You need enzymes to help these chemical reactions happen faster. So like we said, enzymes speed up the chemical reactions that take place inside cells. All right, like I said, they happen too slowly. And as a summary, enzymes, this is the main point right here, guys. The main point about enzymes. They lower the activation energy for a chemical reaction, okay? They lower the activation energy. So if you remember, let's go back a bunch of slides. Okay, the activation energy here. This is the activation energy. We were talking about that before. You see how the energy has to come up all the way up here? Okay, an enzyme will make this activation energy start right here. So you can start the chemical reaction much faster and get your product. Okay, all right, let's go back to where we are. Sorry for this. Okay. Now, lowering the activation energy makes the reaction take place much faster and at a lower temperature. Without enzymes, cells would die, okay? The chemical reactions required in living cells would take place too slowly to keep the cell alive. So here's an example. So sucrose, okay, it's a type of sugar, will spontaneously. That means it'll randomly break down. It'll break apart by itself into glucose and fructose, two different things. Remember, glucose is what's made in plants, okay? So randomly, sucrose will break down into these two substances. But it will take years to do that. It will take a super long time. Okay, so think about this. Sucrose, this part right here, it'll take years, but it will break down into glucose and fructose. All right? But if a small amount of the enzyme sucrase is added to the solution, all the sucrose will break down within seconds, okay? So instead of taking years, it's going to take seconds. It'll be super quick, All right. So this is just an example how sucrose breaks down to glucose and fructose by using the enzyme called sucrase. Okay. All right. Let's talk about this right here. So enzymes are specific. So tokute for their substrate. The substrate is this part kiban, the part that the enzyme connects to. All right, so there's a chemical reaction that's happening with something. That something that connects to the enzyme is called a substrate. Okay, so this is a good word to write down. Substrate, kiban. Specific, tokute. Okay, enzymes are so specific that for their substrate that they can only catalyze. Catalyze means to make the reaction go faster. One chemical reaction. They can only work for one chemical reaction. Okay. So the example I gave about the sucrose, that enzyme will only work for that substrate. It will not work for any other reaction. So if you put that sucrose or oh my goodness, what's it called? That sucrase. Sorry, that sucrase enzyme in the chemical reaction that we saw with hydrogen peroxide, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Okay, because the enzyme is very specific. It only works for one type of reaction. All right. So this is a good place to take a little break if you need to take a break from taking your notes or doing your activity. This is how we're going to compare the difference between enzymes and catalysts. This is in your notes and it will be in your test. So it's a good thing to pay attention to. Okay. So enzymes. Enzymes are proteins. Enzymes are specific for just one reaction. They only work for one reaction. Each enzyme has an optimum temperature at which it functions best. What this means, each enzyme works best at a certain temperature. Okay, so enzymes that are, for example, if an enzyme works well at 37 degrees, and if you put it in a 50-degree solution, it will not work. Okay. Enzymes require water to function. Enzymes need water. And enzymes are not consumed or used up during a reaction. What that means is they're not destroyed after the chemical reaction. They can be used many, many times after the reaction's over. Catalysts, however, they're not proteins. They can be many different things, but they're not proteins. Catalysts will speed up many different reactions. They're not specific, okay? You can put them on many different things. They're not specific. Catalysts are not affected by temperature. They generally work at any temperature, so it doesn't matter. They work at any temperature, they're okay. Catalysts do not require water. And catalysts are not consumed or used up during reactions either, okay? So the only thing they really have in common is these two parts right here. So enzymes are similar to catalysts, okay? They're biological catalysts, okay? All right, so we're going to stop right here. The next video is going to talk about how enzymes work.